Pope Francis recently called young people who preferred the traditional Latin Mass psychologically unbalanced. This statement reveals more than just a spiritual reflection. It shows a harsh judgment and perhaps even an act of desperation. Today we analyze this attack, its context, and what's really at stake in the fight against tradition. The traditional Latin Mass is not just a ritual. It's a spiritual treasure that connects the faithful with centuries of unwavering faith. It is the essence of Christ's words at the Last Supper. "Do this in remembrance of me." Luke chapter 22, verse 19. But why does this tradition seem to bother Pope Francis so much? The Eucharist was instituted by Christ himself. St. Paul warns us in his first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 29, "Therefore, whoever eats the bread or drinks the cup of the Lord in an unworthy manner will be guilty of sinning against the body and blood of the Lord." The traditional Latin Mass reflects this seriousness and leads the faithful to the heart of Christ's sacrifice. Is this imbalance, or rather a sign of deep faith? Is this an imbalance, or rather a sign of deep faith? Many young people seek a true connection with God in tradition, a refuge amidst a chaotic world. So why are they treated with contempt instead of understanding? Many young people are looking for a true connection to God through tradition, a safe haven in the middle of a chaotic world. So why are they treated with contempt instead of understanding? St. Paul himself said, "Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever." Hebrews chapter 13, verse 8. Tradition is not an obstacle, it's a guide. The rejection of tradition is nothing new. Let us remember the Pharisees who opposed Christ for fear of losing control over the people. Today, we see an echo of this resistance in those who want to destroy the traditional Latin Mass because it threatens their progressive narratives. Pope Francis, who preaches tolerance and dialogue, cracks down on those who love tradition. This reflects a power struggle rather than a true desire for unity. Jesus said, "Whoever is not with me is against me." Matthew chapter 12, verse 30. How can we interpret this attitude other than as resistance to what truly connects us with Christ? It's not tradition itself that's disturbing, but its revival. The traditional Latin Mass continues to gain popularity, especially among young people. This shows that it's not a nostalgic whim, but a deep spiritual response. St. Peter reminds us in the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 5, verse 39, "If this plan or this undertaking is of human origin, it will fail. But if it is of God, you will not be able to overthrow them. In that case, you may even be found fighting against God." Who is showing the true imbalance? These young people who seek Christ with respect and joy, or these modernist priests who are only trying to please the world, with a pontificate that tries to force changes towards a modernism, in quotes, that is exclusively represented and promoted by older people who nostalgically think back to times that many believers, including the young, neither accept nor desire. Jesus himself warned, "Judge not, that you be not judged." Matthew chapter 7, verse 1. Pope Francis may try to marginalize tradition, but the words of Christ are clear, "And the gates of hell shall not prevail against it, my church." Matthew chapter 16, verse 18. This fight is not against unbalanced young people, but against a spiritual richness that will ultimately always prevail. If you love tradition, don't give up. Pray for the Church, for the Pope, and for the shepherds. Ultimately, the truth always wins, because Christ reigns forever, and many of us know where the truly unbalanced are. Those who have lost their faith, those who are crazy because of their mistakes and sexual obsessions, as Our Lady already said in Garabandal in the 1960s, when nothing was yet known about the scandals of sexual abuse of minors by this generation of modernist priests. And what do we have today? The chalice used to fill up, now it overflows. Many cardinals, bishops and priests are going down the path of perdition and are taking many other souls with them. Garabandal, October 18th, 1961. This was the bell tower of the Vendi. Leave a like and share the video if you enjoyed it. Goodbye, dear warriors of the Lord, and may God bless you.